Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing actually quite an exciting build for me. So we hit 50 subscribers on this channel, and for me it's quite a big moment, and I was really happy about it. So I decided I wanted to do like a special 50 subscriber build and Q&A, which yeah, I got to a lot quicker than I thought I would, and I just want to thank everybody for, you know, subscribing to my channel and supporting me. And I hope you enjoy the build and the Q&A. So I'm not going to speak much about the build, honestly, because I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can. I asked over on Twitter if, well, what people wanted to hear from me, and I got a few answers, so I'll go through that. I will put this build on the gallery, just in case you guys are interested in seeing it, but there are a lot of packs. I didn't limit myself with the packs that I used, purely because I thought that, you know, if I'm doing this 50 subscriber build, then I want to do it in a way that it's exactly what I want it to be, because I think building a house in the shape of a 50 is hard enough anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching the build, and I hope you enjoy the Q&A part of it as well. So over on Twitter, I asked people what they wanted to know about me, because I was going to do a Q&A, and a lot of Sims related. So yeah, I'll just start answering them. So the first question is, when did you start playing The Sims? Honestly, I don't remember when exactly. I was probably about 6 or 7, and it was The Sims 1, and it was yeah, it was interesting. It was on one of those really old computers, the ones with like the whole back to it. Yeah, it was interesting. My favorite Sims townies, probably Bella Goth. I know she's a controversial character because she disappeared and then, you know, she came back and all that. But when I first started playing The Sims, she was my favorite character in The Sims 1. And I just really enjoy... I like the conspiracy theories behind her, and I just think she's really interesting. So yeah, my favorite townie would probably be Bella Goth. My favorite pack, so it's a bit of an open question, that, because that kind of could be from any Sims game that has come out. So my favorite pack from The Sims 4 specifically would probably be like... probably Seasons. I think Seasons add so much to the game and your whole gameplay, and it affects every world that you're in, so I really like that. But I enjoyed Seasons in Sims 3 in the sense that it gave you the actual temperature that it was like outside, if that makes any sense. I think it added just that little bit more. I know it sounds picky, but I enjoyed having the actual temperature. My least favorite pack. I generally buy packs because I do a bit of research into them before I buy them, and, you know, kind of just see what is in them. But my current packs that I have, my least favorite would probably be luxury party stuff. You can't really use much from it, and I think that's why I don't like it that much. There's not a lot of build or buy items, and really, I'm a builder at heart, and I enjoy building. I was going to study architecture and decided against it, and I think The Sims helps me bring out that sort of creativity, and like I'm able to build whatever I want, and I like that, and I think that's why I enjoy The Sims. So that's probably why luxury party stuff is my least favorite pack, just because it doesn't add much to my build or buy. My favorite type of build would probably be like a normal suburban family home. I really enjoy doing family homes. I think they're easy to do because they, you know, you see them every day, you live in them, and you kind of know how to lay them out a bit easier, or in my case I do. And yeah, I enjoy doing family homes, and preferably not modern ones. I like a suburban look, and yeah, that's just my personal preference. And then if I had to live in one of the towns, where would you live as a sim? I would really like to live in Solani. I think it's a beautiful world, but I also think that San Myshuno is beautiful. So I like the bright colors and, you know, the celebration that they have in San Myshuno. You know, it gets a lot more people together, and I enjoy that. So probably San Myshuno overall, but I really like how bright and, you know, beautiful Solani is as well. I get this question a lot in real life. Where are you from? So initially, well, when I was born in South Africa, and I lived there for 15 years, and then I moved to the UK almost 5 years ago now. So originally South Africa, and that's where my accent comes from, but I live in the UK now. How old are you? I am 20 now. And yeah, my birthday is in February, and I'm a Pisces, and yeah, just in case you're interested. Do you own all the Sims 4 packs? No, I don't own all the Sims 4 packs. I have all the expansion packs. I have most of the game packs. There's a few that I'm not particularly interested in, like vampires. I don't particularly like playing with occult Sims. I prefer playing with regular Sims and making life as realistic as possible, so that's why I don't have things like vampires in my game. And I realized that Island Living came with mermaids, but I think Island Living has a lot more than just mermaids, whereas vampires is solely based on them. And then for the stuff packs, I own a few stuff packs, but not all of them. I think that stuff packs are really cool, but I think they're very focused on a certain topic, and if you're not interested in that topic, then that stuff pack probably won't suit you. So that's why I don't have a few of them. I don't have my first pet stuff because of the bad publicity it has, and I don't have a lot of them actually. I tend to get the stuff packs that from a trailer interest me, so like Tiny Living I have because I think the build and buy items are amazing and the cast items are amazing, and I also think that having that extra lot type makes it worth it for a stuff pack. But most of the time I'm not all that interested in it. Like Mosquito stuff packs just doesn't interest me. What's my favorite type of video to do? I really enjoy speed builds. I enjoy being able to build whatever I want and being able to share it with people. That's kind of why I started my channel, and I've only had it for a few weeks, but I really enjoy being able to share my builds with people and show people how I build, because I think it's really interesting watching how people build, because everybody builds in a different way. And yeah, I just find it, I enjoy speed builds for that exact reason. Then what else do we have? What got me into The Sims? So when I was young, I was like 6 or 7, and I was at my grand's house, and she got The Sims 1, and she had this box computer that we used to play it on, you know, the ones with the big screens, the ones that went all the way back and like covered your desk. Yep, she had one of them, and I started playing The Sims 1, and I enjoyed The Sims 1. I think looking back at it now from what we have in The Sims 4, it's interesting to see the difference between them and realizing how much they kind of got away with in The Sims 1 compared to what they would get away with now, because I don't think that a lot of the things that they have in The Sims 1 would be acceptable now, not just morally but the quality. And even though I really enjoyed it, it's just not something that I think I would enjoy now, but I think it would be interesting to play it again. And that kind of leads into what was your first Sims. So it was Sims 1. My brother had a girlfriend who used to play Sims as well, and she had a whole lot of extra Sims games. She had The Sims Making Magic, The Sims, it was a whole lot of Sims 1 packs, and we ended up downloading them into our game. And I think The Sims Making Magic is my favorite from the Sims 1 expansion packs. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and the way they had a whole separate world for it, and like the circus and all that, I think it was brilliant. I loved The Sims Making Magic. I enjoyed The Sims 2 as well, to be fair. I didn't play it much. I used to play it at a friend's house, and we used to play on PlayStation, but I think I preferred The Sims 1 to Sims 2. I know it's controversial. I know a lot of people love The Sims 2, but I didn't play it as much, so that's probably why. And then a few years after it got released, I got The Sims 3 for my computer. And I got a lot of that's when I started collecting expansion packs. I got a whole lot of expansion packs over time, and I really enjoyed The Sims 3. In fact, when The Sims 4 initially came out, I got The Sims 4, I paid for it, but I really didn't like playing with it because of the lack of expansion packs. Like, I feel like an expansion pack adds a lot to your game, and it adds a lot of more realism. So I think because I didn't have expansion packs in The Sims 4, I preferred playing in The Sims 3 for a long time, actually. And I've played The Sims 4 for probably about 3 years now, 2-3 years. And I don't know, I wouldn't go back to The Sims 3 now, purely because of the graphics and the options that I had in The Sims 4. But yeah, no, I did enjoy The Sims 3 a lot. And yeah, I don't think I have any more questions, but I appreciate you guys sending them in. And we're going on to the build. I'll go and chat about the build for a little bit. But I also was wondering if you guys would be interested in if I did like a how I build kind of video, showing you guys how I, move things off the grid and all that. I know a lot of people who watch me play The Sims quite a lot, and you know a lot about like move objects and doing things off the grid. But if you guys are interested, just let me know down in the comments, and I can do a video like that to show you guys like the thought process that goes through my mind when I'm building. And I could do it as like a real-time video, or if even you're interested in seeing something specific, like how I do kitchens or bathrooms, or not specifically bathrooms. I hate building bathrooms. I think that my bathrooms always come out very generic because you can't do much with a bathroom to customize it, in my opinion. I know some people do some really stunning bathrooms, but I don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom in The Sims, so I just don't really decorate it as nicely. I don't know, yeah. But if you guys are interested, just let me know. So you guys would have seen earlier that I was struggling a bit with the roof, and it was okay. I worked it out in the end, but I had to break it into like a million roof pieces so that it looked smooth. And sorry, this video might be quite jumpy because I did it in a few parts. It ended up being recorded over like 4 hours. It was like 4 hours of footage, so it was a bit jumpy, and I obviously wasn't going to sit down and build for 4 hours, otherwise I think my brain would probably explode. But yeah, you would have seen me struggling with the roof pieces a little bit, and I wanted this to look like a typical, family home. I know it's modern, and that's generally not my build style, but I figured if you have a house in the shape of a 50, it's not exactly going to be an old style build. And yeah, I decided that I wanted this design over the water in Solani because I thought it would look so beautiful. I was going to do it in like Willow Creek or something like that, but I decided that having that water in the middle of the build and almost surrounding the build looked really, really nice and gave a beautiful view for all the windows. And yeah, I think that this actually suits pretty well for a family build. You got all those kids' toys at the front, and I think that it fills the space quite nicely because it is a big build. And I was actually kind of struggling on thinking what I should do with the build, but I think the floor plan worked out okay. It would take forever to move around this house because you haven't got that middle bit. That middle bit's all that water. but I think that to live in, it would be quite nice. I think it would look really nice in person. And yeah, that TV, almost like that TV cabinet thing around the TV, I think that looks really nice. It's made out of the base game counters from they're just base game counters, and I just used the overhead cabinets and, you know, shaped it how I wanted it to be shaped, and I really liked how it turned out. I was actually quite impressed with myself for being able to build a house that was in the shape of a 50 that was functional, because I was kind of debating my skills a lot through this. You know, trying to work out a floor plan, it was interesting. And I know I left those walls blank down that corridor on the right hand side, but I thought that having that view over the water and being able to see through to the rest of the house would probably be okay. And I turned this into a home office over here. I decided lots of bookshelves would be nice, and there's plenty skill building items both for adults and for children in this house, which also makes it really nice for gameplay depending on how many packs you have, because as I said, I didn't restrict myself on the packs that I used for this build. And yeah, I just kind of made the most of what I had. So you can see I've got that chess table there for the logic skill, I got the easel there for the artist, and I wanted to tie that yellow in from the cushion on that tiny living chair, so I put some yellow into the build as well. My idea for this home office though was to make it look like this person works from home, and they're a bit messy as well. So their desk is a bit cluttered, but I think that it turns out really nicely and looks really lived in, which is exactly what I try to aim for in my builds. In this room I wanted to be like a guest room, so like if the grandparents came to visit, then it would look nice for them. It was nice and tidy, it had everything they needed, and I just thought that would be really nice. So I kept it very simple, kept a very black and white theme in this room, and added some splashes of color with that green. My idea would be that those photo frames would be filled with family photos, so that would be quite nice. Then moving on to this room, it's a kids room. Also, I think the last clip was so jumpy because I did it in such a long strip. I think it was about an hour and a half to 2 hours, that last one, so that's why it was so jumpy compared to this one. But this is going to be a kids room for a girl, and I think it would suit well for a child. And I made the curtains different in this room. I thought that they were nicer this way. And yeah, I just added lots of clutter items. I wanted this to look like a typical kids room. I wanted it to be messy and disorganized, and it actually came out really nicely that way, I think. There's a science table over there, but there's also the creativity table at the front door for the kids, and there's a bookcase, and there's plenty of ways to get their skills up. So I added a rug there, and then I wanted to add some dirty laundry, because we do have that laundry room on the other side of the house, which I thought looked quite nice. So I just added some more clutter in here. I added a few stuffed toys, or like just toys lying around the place. I never knew that piggy bank existed though, so I got really excited when I found that piggy bank, and I think it looks really cute on top of that cabinet there. So I just added some toys, and I added a task board on top of that desk as well, so that they were able to kind of keep track of like their school stuff, which I thought was quite nice. So I made this into what I believe would be suitable for like a teenage son, or you know, just a teenager in general. It's a bit neater than the other one. It's still untidy, and the desk is still cluttered, but it's got that laptop as well, which I think is nice because they'd probably be using it for school a lot. And yeah, I just added it. I wanted it to look really realistic. So there's lots of clutter items on top of that chest of drawers as well. So I kept it really nice and simple in here. I like the idea of having those posters on the wall. I think that it makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, so moving on to the deck area, I didn't want to put too much onto this deck, and I put a few floaties in the pool. I call them Malalo, I don't know. And yeah, just added some deck chairs and that awning over it as well. And I put in a picnic table there. You wouldn't have seen it, it moved too quickly there, but I did add one there as well. And just landscaping very simply. I just added some palm trees and some little bits of grass underneath the palm trees, because there wasn't actually much space left over for me to landscape with. A lot of this lot is made up of water, which was the idea anyway, so there wasn't a lot of space to landscape with, and I think it looks nicer fitting in with the habitat around it. So there's a few bicycles over there, and I add a swing set as well to get up the motor skill for kids, or the imagination, or I can't remember what swings do for them. But here's some screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed the build, and I hope you enjoyed getting to know me just that little bit more in the Q&A. And if you guys have any ideas for me or anything like that, just let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you next time. Thank you guys.